That's me, Tom Vitanza. You know, some Republicans say that it'll be a cold day in Hades before Diane can get elected as county judge. This isn't Hades, but I think it's a good omen, Diane, I really do. You know, during the election year, especially during a presidential year, you hear a lot of talk about the American dream. Well, I think Diane DiStefano really represents that. You know, that if you have some talent and you're willing to work hard, you can accomplish great things. Diane, I first met her in 1995 when she came to my office, and she says, I'm a first-year law school student at Albany, and I want to work in your office. I said, okay, you mean in the summer, right? She said, no, all year long. I said, wait a minute, how can you work in my office and go to law school, you know, all week long? She says, don't worry, I'll do it. And by God, she did do it. For 3 years, she went to Albany Law School, and for 3 years, she was in my office at least 2 or 3 days every week working. So she went through law school, graduated by working and by studying. She would cut classes in order to come to my office in order to do certain work. So I've never forgotten that. I think it's a great tribute to her talent. And you know, I've been practicing law in Chenango County and surrounding counties, probably at least 4 or 5 counties in the area for over 50 years now. So during that career, I've met a lot of judges, and as you might suspect, there are judges and there are judges. I would say that there are 3 things that a good judge should have. And the first thing is knowledge of the law and the conduct of attorneys. Now you say, well, all judges know that. Well, all judges may know some of that, but I don't think all judges have a full grasp of how significant it is that they have a firm grasp of the law and also a firm grasp of their duty to keep lawyers within the bounds of propriety. I can almost guarantee you that if Diane is county judge, she will do all of those things because she has demonstrated during the years she's been in my office her absolute knowledge of the law, her ability to get to the heart of the matter immediately and not beating around the bush. And she has demonstrated that. You can ask any attorney in the area that works with her, and that's one of the things they will tell you, is that she doesn't beat around the bush. She gets things done in a hurry. She's a marathon runner, and you know, she did the New York Marathon in about 4.5 hours, and that's a pretty good feat. So she's quick. She's not only quick running, she's quick when it comes to the knowledge of the law and her ability to get things done. And I can guarantee you that as county judge, you will never have a case retried 3 times as what's going on across the street. And you say, is that important? Well, just check how many hundreds of thousands of dollars those retrials have cost you. The second thing that a judge has to have is he has to like people, because as county court and family court judge, you're going to see the worst of humanity. You're going to see what human beings can do to one another, how mean they can be, how vicious. And you have to learn that they're human beings too. You got to learn how to have patience. You got to like people. And if anybody likes people, it's Diane. You just talk to her for 4 minutes and she'll talk your head off forever. She likes people. And she has patience, and she's demonstrated that in her ability to do all the things she has done in my office, besides being a full-time student and working in a law office. She raised a family. She has a lot of patience, believe me. And the third thing I think that's extremely important in a county judge and any judge is an ability to communicate with the lawyers. You say, well, that's pretty simple, isn't it? No, it's not simple. I can remember trying cases in front of certain judges, and we would be that close to settling, and we'd say to the judge, can you help us, just narrow these problems we're having so we can settle this? And one, I'll never forget, if I live to be 100, the judge says, I'm not paid to settle cases. Okay. But why is it important in family court, especially? That's where the heavy caseload is in family court. And if you have the ability to talk to the lawyers, and you can make them understand that their position is either not quite correct, or their position needs to be refined, or they're way off base, you'll settle a lot more cases than you have to trial. And it's important that you settle cases, because you can't try every case that comes along, especially in family court. You have to have the ability to work out reasonable and satisfactory settlements and make the people understand through their lawyers that it's their settlement, it's their case, and it's their compromise, and it's their agreement. Kevin Dowd, who is now our state judge, was a family court judge for 10 years, did a remarkable job. All the lawyers loved him because after 10 or 15 minutes in any family court matter, you knew where he was coming from, and he would tell you, he would communicate with you, and he would help you settle the case. Diane will be another Kevin Dowd, I can guarantee you that. So, I have a great deal of pleasure in introducing my partner. And by the way, my 80th birthday will be on November 6th, which is election day. And Diane has promised me as a birthday president she's going to be elected. So with great pleasure, I introduce Diane DiStefano.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming today. I hope you're not all disappointed, but this is not going to be a deep philosophical political speech up here. I am simply here to tell you today why I am running for Chenango County Court Judge and who I am. In 2010, I ran the New York City Marathon. Yes, Tom, I did that one in 4.5 hours coming off a stress fracture in my shin. In 2011, I ran the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. in 3.5 hours. So we prefer to use that number. In 2012, I'm not training for a marathon. I am running for Chenango County Court Judge. This is my marathon. This is not a decision that I have come to lightly. Believe me, everybody that knows me knows that. I have given it a great deal of thought. The campaign process has already been a difficult one, and I'm just announcing today, if that tells you anything. You find out through this process who your true friends are and who your true friends aren't. And it's been painful. Colleagues that you've worked with side by side for over a decade all of a sudden treat you differently. And it's just been a process that's been a difficult one for me, but I am determined to do it. I even had someone ask me why I'm wasting my money in running when one of my opponents has already paid their dues. I'm not even sure I know what paying your dues means, but I sure hope it doesn't require you to be a male Republican in Chenango County. At the end of the day, none of this stuff matters to me. Believe me, I've had my sleepless nights and I've thought about it, but after a lot of morning runs and literally hundreds of miles on the streets of this county, I have come to the conclusion that nothing else matters to me except for my family and the health and safety of my family. That, together with my experience, is what made me decide to run for this position. Nothing is more important to me than my family. I've practiced law in this county for over 11 years, with the majority of my practice concentrating on family court matters. I've been an assistant public defender since 2006. I have represented fathers, mothers, grandparents, unrelated parties in custody matters. There is nothing more satisfying than winning a custody case. I don't care if I give somebody millions of dollars in a personal injury settlement. It's the custody cases that mean the most to me in the family court sector. I'm in family court on a weekly basis, never less than 2 days per week, and sometimes as often as 5 days per week. I've devoted my entire career to assisting families in Chenango County. In my capacity as public defender alone, I've handled over 750 family court cases. These numbers do not include the hundreds of cases that I've handled in my private practice. Likewise, I have extensive experience in the criminal courts. I've disposed of over 800 criminal cases throughout my career. The volume of cases I have handled demonstrates my commitment to Chenango County, the families, and all the residents of this county. There is no question that the majority of the county court caseload lies within family court. Arguments have been made that county or criminal court equals the rate of family court based on the calendar days devoted to the county court trial terms. Typically, there are 8 4-week trial terms throughout the calendar year. These terms are almost always cut back to 2 weeks, with the other 2 weeks given to family court based on a desperate need for more family court time. In 2011, there were over 4,500 filings in family court. There were only 5 felony jury trials in county court for 2011, most of which were conducted by the assistant ADAs. The math is simple. Family court dominates this position. I have also had the opportunity to experience the criminal justice system from the bench as town justice. I previously served as the presiding town justice for the town of Guilford. My duties as a town justice included presiding over all criminal matters through misdemeanor trial level and felony proceedings through the felony hearing. I also presided over various civil matters. I am the only candidate who brings this prior judicial experience to the bench. In addition to my professional experience, I also draw on my personal experience and bring this to the judgeship. I am truly blessed to have 2 wonderful children and 3 equally wonderful stepchildren, each unique and remarkable in their own way. I've experienced my stepchildren's journey to adulthood and at the same time experienced the very terrible twos of my younger children. The children of this county are the future of this county. My professional and personal experience make me the most qualified candidate for this position, not only to ensure the best interests of the children in family court, but to serve all citizens of Chenango County. When word began to get out that I was contemplating running, a man approached me and he thanked me. He thanked me for providing him with a choice in this election. He stated to me that he feels that Chenango County is like a big chess game, and the people simply move from spot to spot, and nobody has a choice or a say in who gets what. Help me put the establishment in checkmate with this election. Help me put an end to the pieces moving from spot to spot. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. You have a choice in this election. Now, I've told you that I practice law, and you know that I run marathons. Those are things that I do. They are not who I am. Shockingly, I am not human either. I've made some mistakes in life. I will probably make more. These mistakes do not define me. They're not who I am. Who I am is the person that starts her day at 4:45 with a 6-mile run and ends her day in town court at 9:00 p.m. Who I am is someone that gives a closing argument in the afternoon and sings her little girl rockabye baby at night. I am the person that can talk Jimmy Choo's shoes with the woman wanting a divorce, and the same person that can talk fishing with the father wanting custody. This is the person Chenango County needs on the bench. This is the person that Chenango County deserves to have. Not a judge who is entitled or handpicked by the establishment, but the judge that will have no regard for income level, race, or gender. The judge that will be fair and impartial under all circumstances based upon both her personal and professional experience. The judge that rises above all the political rhetoric and instead remains grateful for the health and happiness of her family. This is who I am, folks, and this is who needs to be the next judge in Chenango County. Thank you.